Alright, so for today's video, I actually want you to do something. I want you to shut off your brain, take out a notebook, and just start writing down any information that you think could be useful for you. Because today's lesson is about exactly that. Stop thinking, shut off your brain, and you'll be able to see the miracles that you can do if you do that. The reason for this is pretty simple. When I was starting off in self-improvement, one of my biggest issues, and probably yours as well, is procrastination. I struggled with it a lot. I've talked about this story a little bit, so you might have heard it, but if you haven't, there was this girl playing basketball, and I really liked her. So what I did is I did like daily bike tours, and that's when I met her and I saw her. And for like the next hour and a half, I would just keep taking my bike and circling that block, just literally like trying to think, what am I gonna say to her? And I just kept thinking of like the perfect scenario I could do. I just kept thinking maybe this would work best, but what if she says that? Then I should probably respond with this. I was literally just like in my mind fucking myself over. And so that time finally came when I saw her and she was basically getting ready to leave. So I knew it had to have been then. So what I did is I clicked the off button on my brain. I drove my bike right next to her. I stopped. I waited until she scored a point. And the second that ball went through the hoop, I just clapped like this. And it made her laugh out hysterically because she saw me doing tours and everything. And she was expecting like such a big build-up just for me to come up to her and just like start clapping like that. You know, the best part about that is it worked. That like 5 minutes later, I got her number and I ended up like dating her for like 6-7 months. And that plays into today's lesson. You have to learn to shut off your brain. Because if you don't, you will fill yourself with doubt, procrastination, and you will look for alternatives. And that is exactly what I'm going to go over in today's video so you can learn how to avoid it. The first thing I want to talk over is doubt. If you don't do something because you believe you can't do it or it will be too hard, I promise you, you won't be able to do it. Because you are setting yourself up for failure. You are basically preying on your own downfall. I cannot think of anything worse than having doubt. Because if you doubt yourself, there is a 0% chance you'll be able to do it. But if you truly believe you can do it, and you truly believe if you put in the work, you'll be able to achieve it, and you are willing to like risk everything for it, you are probably gonna get it. Because that is how the world works. The world is filled with risk. And if you are a risk taker, if you decide you're not going to listen to all that doubt, you're going to actually do it, then you're going to get rewarded. Because the world is constantly looking for more risk takers. And if you are one of those, you'll be able to succeed and get the results you want. So that's the first step you have to do. Stop doubting yourself. If you really want to do something, get it done then. Stop thinking about like the perfect plan or anything, because the best plan is just to start. There's this little quote I heard which I really like. The best time to plant a tree would be 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree would be now. So just because you didn't start at the same time someone else did, that doesn't mean you have a disadvantage over them. Don't see that as anything which should discourage you. Because everyone is in a different step of progress, and everyone has their own paths to follow. So if you keep comparing yourself to others, well then you're gonna actually just bring yourself down. And that is how you get issues like body dysmorphia. Because you don't appreciate what you have, and instead you look at what other people have without realizing what it took to get there. The next issue you have to get over is procrastination. And this goes hand in hand with doubt, but it is a lot worse. Because procrastination can lead to you not even taking that step. Doubt will mean that you might fail at what you're doing, but procrastination will mean you didn't even do the thing or you didn't even try. Another quote I really like is, you miss 100% of the shots you don't shoot. Think about it. If you don't even try, to get the girl's number, if you don't try that business you wanted to try, you are guaranteed to fail. So even if you get rejected, even if that business fails, you will have learned something and you will have at least tried. So maybe that girl will say yes, or maybe that business will work. Even if there's like a 0.1% chance of it working, that is still a higher chance than if you don't try at all. Let me point out a scenario. 90% of people don't get what they want done. 9% know what they want to get done, but they procrastinate about it. And that 1% of people that don't procrastinate and actually work, they're the ones who succeed. That is why people say the top 1% or how to get into the 1% of people. Because that is the biggest issue that people face with procrastination. Believing that something needs to be perfect. Nothing needs to be perfect. But if it's good enough, then that's great. That is all you need to do to get started. And I know, what I'm saying right now, you're probably like, okay, he's saying the exact same thing as everyone, but I'm still just scared to like talk to that girl or something. That plays into doubt again. Because you are literally telling yourself that girl's gonna reject you. But if you tell yourself, that girl right there, she's gonna wanna come out with me. She's gonna wanna go out with me. Then you know what's gonna happen? She's probably gonna wanna go out with you. So, I can't make this up. You literally, whatever you believe in yourself, you literally like resonated with other people. That's what people see. So that's what you have to really start doing. If you stop doubting yourself and stop procrastinating, those go hand in hand, and you will literally be able to succeed and surpass so many people. Now the last thing I want to talk about, and I mentioned at the start, it is alternatives. What do I mean by that? I made an entire video dedicated to it, and for good reason. Having a backup plan, having a plan B, is probably the worst thing you can do for yourself. Because that is setting yourself up for failure. And there's one example I love using for that. Imagine you have two people. One person has their plan A. That's it. If their plan A fails, they're cooked. They have nothing else to resort to. But the second guy, his plan A, he's also got a backup. He's got a plan B. If it fails, he's still in a safe area. He's still got a safe job waiting for him at home. Who do you think is gonna try harder in the plan A? The guy who his life literally depends on success? Or the guy who it's just like his number one option? That's what he would like to do. It is the guy that his life depends on it. Because like how a crackhead will do anything possible to get the money for their next hit, if you have no other option or scenario and you are forced to go with that, you are gonna put in maximum effort to reach it. While the second guy is probably the guy that's scrolling, wasting time, all of that, because he doesn't care. If his plan A fails, he can just resort to plan B. So I know that's probably bad advice to give. I'm telling you to only result on what you want to do. And if that fails, well then you're cooked. I'm basically telling you to follow that. And that is pretty bad advice from an outside perspective. Because not everyone, even with their plan A, is going to put 100% effort in. So if you know that that is something for you, because I'm making this video for you, don't forget, this video is made exactly for you. If you believe that you could reach that, then why would you waste your time thinking about a plan B? I know exactly what I want, and I know that I will devote every second to that, because I don't care about working like a corporate job or whatever. I don't have anything against that. You could make decent money, you could have a decent living with that. But that's not what I want. What I want is to help others as like a self-improvement coach or something, and as a content creator. So if that fails, I'm cooked. I'm probably gonna end up working at like a McDonald's or something, I don't know. But I know it won't fail. So if you know that whatever you want to do won't fail either, why not devote your life to it? Try everything possible to reach it. So that's all I have for today's lesson. Like always, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I got my point across. God bless you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And if you feel like it, YouTube can recommend you more videos like this if you click the subscribe button, and it helps me out. Have a blessed day.